Hey everyone, it's Teddy, aka JamesKisau on MTGO, coming at you with some Grixis control again, of course. Uh, this week, 4-drop auditions are very much still ongoing around here, and after opening up the phone lines asking for any suggestions for what to play, all I got was play Jace the Mind Sculptor. So why not? Playing Jace the Mind Sculptor. Even in this world of Orcish Bowmasters, I'm pretty sure I can still find some spot to slide this in and do something with it. It's got 3 modes off the bat, so we'll do what we can and always be cognizant of Bowmasters, of which I still have 2. Last time I had 3, but we're going down to 2 this time just to see what happens. Back up to 3 Ponders from 2. And also sticking with Shieldred, that was the most interesting 4-drop I thought from the last video. And despite now having to care about Swords to Plowshares, which I might never get used to, I was always really attracted to this Grixis control shell because of how it largely doesn't mind the white removal suite, the 1-for-1 removal suite of Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending. That being said, I've been pretty happy to register Shieldred. I think it is pretty well positioned right now. The 4/5 body is great. The taxing effect makes the One Ring pretty difficult to get around, and this does not target, so even if they have the blanket fog from the ring, I'm pretty sure they still lose 2 life. We'll get back to you on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Kind of a global effect. And then the other interesting card I think is Lorien Revealed. I've been seeing it a lot in like the blue-black control lists that have kind of poked up. Yorion, Shadow, just 4-color control, Hot Bant, stuff like that. Just having modal cards is always really great. And in the past I've had a lot of fun with Into the Story. I've only ever gotten it published once, but it's a fun pet card of mine. It's not really well positioned right now, obviously, because of Bowmasters. But having instant speed on that is pretty cool. This does not, and it only draws 3, not 4. But the other mode is just so good. Island cycling can help you get out of a sticky Blood Moon situation. We also are playing Blood Moon ourselves, of course. And if I ever get to spend 5 mana to draw 3, I think we're probably just winning at that point anyways. So yeah, modal cards are cool. Let's see what this one does. Sideboard, I think, is pretty much the same. I haven't really changed my sideboard very much. Sudden Edict, I'm on the fence for. I'm testing it out again, but I don't think it's very well positioned, what with army tokens flying around and all that shit. But there's no question that Split Second is a hugely powerful keyword to have on any card, and Edicts are strong. This one does target, though, so it's something to be aware of for the One Ring. And then I think everything else is pretty much the same. 2 Meltdowns for Urza Saga and 8 cast type matches, which is an Urza Saga matchup, but you know what I mean. And still rocking the 2 Blue Blasts. For the longest time I only ran 1, but 4th Aerolingus is a pretty difficult card to beat. Even without the Monarchy attached to it, just dropping out X 2/2s with Trample and not First Strike, Haste is pretty scary. We're looking to usually stabilize the board, and 4th Aerolingus can make the board out of control. That's the list. Rocking my favorite mana base again, and I got Spell Pierce. Nothing to fear. Let's cast Jace the Mind Sculptor and make a 4/4 army token for our opponents. Welcome to the video here. Match 1. We got 4 lands. We are on the draw. Opponent taking a mulligan. This hand is really slow. But we are in the blind. I don't know. Let's keep it for science. Probably just get turn 1 or something anyways. Is mulling for force really that great? Opponent with a quick question. Asking if I have force of will. Okay. I'll say yep. I'll say, oh yeah, I do. Maybe they won't go for it. Lion's Eye Diamond, sure. Basalt Monolith, okay. What's next? Manifold Key, sure. Karn the Great Creator. Perhaps Liquid Metal Coating, yep, okay. They can't untap the Monolith here, so I guess we'll just drop fetch lands. Man, they also don't have any mana. Bolt would be a nice draw. I'll take a Brainstorm. Things could be a lot worse, essentially. And they're forcing some action on this, so might as well oblige. I'm gonna go ahead and get a probably basic island. Might need to search for a Force of Will, we'll see. Okay, they're gonna animate Manifold Key. So Bolt is no longer that great. Shieldred's Edict plays. And let's Brainstorm right now. Brazen Borrower, that's another good one. And K-Command. All good stuff. I think Plague Engineer is probably not for this matchup. And then I'll just redraw land number 4 just in case something happens here. I'm good to shuffle away that Plague Engineer though. Petty Theft. Back to the hand. Alright. Safe for now. Although I think it'd be pretty hard for them to get it back online next turn. And then we can K-Command, cause some havoc. If I don't have to do that though, and I can just drop in the Brazen Borrower, that would be pretty cool. Okay, they got Mox Opal, so they got some mana online. Hopefully not enough to cast Karn though. If they have another Monolith, that could be a problem. Okay, they're just gonna pass. Well, let's see what we draw. Orcish Bowmasters. I can see that being good someday. But for now, I think I probably just want to shatter the Monolith and have them discard. It doesn't take them off Metalcraft, unfortunately, which would have been really nice. This deck does need a lot of mana to operate. Interested to see what gets discarded here. Alright, they discard Karn, so either they have 2, or they just have something in their hand that's better than Karn. And now they're playing an Urza's Saga. Snapcaster Mage, cool. That's another good one. These constructs are going to be pretty darn big, so they'll probably win out in the long run. They're still pretty light on mana though. It's going to be pretty hard for them to make a construct. I think they need to top deck land, so let's really just put the screws on. And if we do get into some kind of damage racing situation, Shieldred's going to be a bomb. I think I like this more than digging for Force of Will. They're definitely on the back foot. Ooh, with the Soul Land. That's pretty solid. We'll probably see right now if they do have another Karn, and well, maybe they just want to make some constructs. They are arriving as 4/4, and then will be 5/5, and then 6/6 after the Saga Fetch, so that's pretty significant. So let's start with Brainstorm. Gain a bunch of life. And then with Snapcaster Mage, flashing back Kolaghan's command will be pretty strong. Check the hand really quick. So we'll put back Narset to likely shuffle, and then Snapcaster Mage on top. It's also pretty tempting to just go for an end turn Brave Borrower, since we are gaining so much life. We can really just kind of go pedal to the metal here. Okay, there's a Saga token. I forgot to cast Thoughtseize because I was thinking about casting Brazen Borrower. Hopefully that's not a big deal here. I imagine they'll want to make another construct. And indeed, there is another one coming. They're grabbing another key. I think they just want to make their constructs unblockable and try and race that way. But I'm pretty sure we can win that race with our brainstorms on the flashback. Basalt Monolith, sure. So yeah, maybe I do want to get Brazen Borrower in there. If I flash in Bowmasters right now, I can force them to tap the Monolith. Well, that's pretty free to untap it with the keys and all that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to flash in Brazen Borrower. Here comes an evasive 3/1 beater. Then we're drawing another snap. So if I attack with Shieldred, they'll probably block, and then we're just mega winning the race. If they do that, I'm just going to K-command the other one away and make them discard, and they should be done. Yep, they're taking the block. Cool. Set a little stop in the draw step there. Target Kolagon's command. And we will Shatter and Raven's Crime. It's possible they just kind of drew something that's kind of whatever, but we can't really afford to play around with that. Yeah, they just drew Lotus Petal, so we could have just won this turn if I had done Shock Shatter. But that's okay. I think we'll get there anyways. We have a lot of live draws. Let's throw down Narset so they can't draw a ring and bury us. And we might also just find some reach here. We totally do. Alright, looking good. That sketchy keep kind of turned out. Alright, this deck is a force check for sure, so let's bring in Surgical, Thoughtseize. Opposition agent can contest the Urza's Saga value. Plague Engineer's not doing too much. Meltdown is great. Let's cut also some of the slower stuff, though Shieldred is a good check for their ring shenanigans. We can cut one Edict, cut the Clings, and give this a shot. Hand is looking good. Got a couple of forces and 2 blue cards to go along with it. And then the goal is to Surgical Karn the Great Creator. Don't really like hitting anything else, because then Karn can wish for it. I guess Urza's Saga is also a fine hit, but I mean, more often than not, I find that once the first Saga is in the graveyard, they already have the second one on the field, or third. Not a lot of good windows to take that one. Haven't been on him to Turok in a while. Speaking of which, they're gonna start with one, and then pass the turn. This probably means they have a soul land as well. Okay, cool, Narset. I find Narset pretty effective against this deck, and I'll want to dig for a Meltdown for sure. As predicted, there is the Soul Land. And they have a defense grid. Obviously going to cast Force of Will on this, and I think since they forewent creating a construct, although Snapcaster is so far off, I think it's still Baleful Strix. It might be hard to cast with this basic mountain, and also Snap Surgical is kind of a thing. Low mana investment there, and then we can start clocking. Extracting defense grid is interesting. Probably not going to do that. Alright, right on time. Could really use a second blue source though. Let's just see what they do first. Okay, they will make a construct. And then I wouldn't put them above doing the sneaky Pithing Needle. And I'm good to just get Volcanic Island here. If I draw a blue source next turn, I'll want to have some red online for turn 4 without my land drop. Lion's Eye Diamond. I wonder what that means. There's Mox Opal. Metalcraft is online. There's a Lotus Petal, sure. Mystic Forge, definitely countering that. But extracting them is not super great because of what I said. Karn the Great Creator can grab them. I think I'm supposed to still do it though. Just make them jump through those hoops where I can. Okay, they have a Saga in hand. In that case, I am going to extract those as well, because I don't think I can beat a second one. And deck looks pretty much like I expected it to. 4 One Rings, 4 Karn the Great Creator. That is the one we don't want to see. And then we have to beat this 3/3 construct and the top of their deck. Could be tricky, but at least we have a chump blocker. So they have 8 incredibly potent top decks, and then the rest are kind of just mana or setup type things. And we hit a land. Okay. Scary stuff. Not ready to chump block just yet. They're not going to have a lot of firepower now that their sagas are gone. Ooh, Brainstorm. Well, that's a good one. K-Command is also a good one. I think I want to probably, shatter the diamond and shock the construct? Yeah, that seems right. The difference between 4 and 5 mana in this deck isn't super high, and this also takes them off Metalcraft anyways. Alright, 8 turn clock, let's go. Crap, it's a 1 ring. Well, that's going to bury us pretty quick unless we find Shieldred or Orcish Bowmasters. Nope, just a land. They should have a pretty hard time blocking Snapcaster Mage now, though. So we might get over the line. Defense grid, sure. Probably one of their less scary draws at this juncture. And we draw another land. Alright. They're down to 7. We can attack them to 5. And then if they draw again, their ring will put them to 2. There are ways out of this. But they could also just drop another ring. Well, we've drawn 3 polluted deltas in a row. That's pretty rough. I think anything else probably would have let us win the game by now, but that's okay. They'll fall to 2. They can't use Ancient Tomb. But now that they have this Basalt Monolith, that's pretty strong. If they cast Emrakul, they'll also need to cast another ring, so their burden counters don't kill them. They have 5 initial mana to get off the ground with. Oh, they have a lot more now. There is a Manifold Key. Probably pretty hard for them to whiff from here. I don't mind seeing them invest 4 mana into another ring, though. And now they have 2 mana to get off to start the initial stuff with. Obviously, I can't attack right now. Yeah, maybe that fog is actually going to do it. Now they have 2 defense grids. Surgical extraction. I don't think there's anything I could hit that would really matter here. I guess I could extract rings. That's really all I can do right now. Make them commit to their burden counters. Because hitting LED surely doesn't matter. They have plenty of mana. Lotus Petal might matter for... Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'll just extract the rings. See what's in their hand. They must have a Karn by now, right? Oh, they don't? Huh. Okay, that makes sense. They've just been bricking like crazy. See if we can continue to dodge, I guess. But I was definitely expecting to see a bunch of horrifying bombs. It all kind of comes down to this draw step. Okay, one of the draws was Grim Monolith. And City of Traders. Definitely got away with something there a little bit. Well, they definitely hit their fail rate there, but, you know, sometimes combo decks fizzle. Alright, let's keep on going. Round 2, what's next? Looks like Yorion. So I don't like to mulligan against Yorion, so I won't. Hand is functional enough. It's got a Force of Will. Verdant Catacombs is not really a fetch land you see out of Yorion very often, though. It could be Shadow. Yorion Shadow's been making the rounds. In which case, that's not good, because I'm super susceptible to Wasteland. I'm not sure if any of these bombs are particularly effective against Death Shadow either. Very happy to see a land here. Let's try and get a foothold in this game, not just get wastelanded out. I'm very curious to see what this is. I'm pretty sure it's Yorion Shadow, but we'll see. Ooh, Bayou. That is interesting. I think I also saw like a Yorion World Gorger pile going around. Could be that as well. I'll keep taking land drops though. Force of Will might do some work. Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, that's fine. If they read me for like a combo deck or something with these Grixis fetch lands and they're just trying to clock quickly, that's fine. I think in the control mirrors, Bowmaster is at its best when it's taking a card out with its ETB. The second Bayou. Okay, that is interesting. Lightning Bolt, cool. Let's just hang back. I'm always scared of Daze. So K-Command seems a little risky. And I don't have the board control to play Narset right now. Whoa, Cavernous Souls, holy crap. Choosing Phyrexian, is this going to be a Shieldred? Yep, okay. That is pretty scary. I could burn it down by shocking with K-Command and lightning bolting it, but that just seems too bad. We might just want to do like a Shieldred face-off or something. And I want to be saving as much life as I can, so I guess I'll go ahead and shock Raven's Crime here. They're going wild with their mana, so I'm going to as well. They're discarding the One Ring. Okay, looks like they're just a wild pile. Taking 2 from Shieldred. I could play Jace and kind of time walk them with a minus. I could play Narset for an Azcanta, but that seems pretty bad for 3 mana. I could play Shieldred. That's probably the most appealing of the lines. Although untapping with Jace is pretty cool too. I think I'll do that. Force a Will. I guess I'm forcing back. The way they discarded the One Ring, though, is pretty wild. They might have another one, which would be pretty weird if we just both have Shieldreds and they have a ring. I guess they'll come up even on their triggers. Worth noting that I think my last one would resolve first, I think. I think that's how it works. And they are reanimating Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. Looks like they'll get to clear Jace right now. That is too bad. No land drop though, so Shieldred's still in hand. It might be worth, well, nah. I'm just going to play Shieldred and hold up Lightning Bolt. They didn't go for Yorion last turn. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Alright, Shieldred's back. No surprise there. And that's probably what they drew for the turn. I still think their last card is a One Ring. End of turn, I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt on Orcish Bowmasters, and then I'm really hoping this Ponder comes up with something crazy. Yep, as you see, non-active player will have theirs resolve first. Shieldred's Edict, cool. That is what I wanted. And then a Brainstorm after that is looking pretty good. Let's make sure this resolves first. I think it will. Alright, non-token creature, please. Awesome. Now let's ponder. I think this is good to keep. Now let's attack, because I think we're easily going to win this race with a Brainstorm. No block, okay. I'm hoping they can't answer our Shieldred. Wow, they're casting Doomsday. That is pretty wild. They must have a plan to win this, though. And I can't Brainstorm into anything relevant. I think I'll want to probably get a full value Brainstorm next turn. Was not expecting this, I gotta be honest. Yorion Doomsday. I'm sure with the extra 20 cards they have a lot of cool things baked into the deck and can easily build a pile that can beat a Shieldred. Looks like Reanimate's part of the plan. That's cool that we get to see that. And they'll be at 4 life, and then they'll probably win or remove my Shieldred. So if I can just brainstorm into like Lightning Bolt or Snapcaster Mage or anything like that, I think we're in pretty good shape. But first we'll draw a land, and then there's another land after that. Okay. I guess we'll attack too. Might as well. I'm curious what that Reanimate is for. Alright, brainstorm, let's go. Force of Will? Hopefully that lines up well against whatever they're trying to do. I don't know how many Cavernous Souls they have. Maybe they'll have a counterable Thassa's Oracle or something. Although they did grab Reanimate, but maybe they won't have the life to cast it. I do want to be able to beat Soft Permission. I doubt that's part of the plan, but they might be on some pretty tight resources here. I'll put back both of these lands, and then if we survive to the next turn, I'll fetch with Polluted Delta and cast Baleful Strix. I think one way or the other, the game is ending next turn, and I hope Force of Will wins it for me. Go ahead and gain 6 life. See what happens. They'll be at 2. And they're going to 1. Fatal Push. Yeah, I'll just force that. Can't see this going wrong. Cool, we got there. Yorion Doomsday with a Shieldred plan and a 1-ring. This could be pretty tricky. I think I'll want Thoughtseize for sure. They also have Reanimate, so Surgical feels pretty good. Typically I do really like Red Blast against Doomsday, because that's how they protect their combo and also search for it. But I have a feeling they'll also have a really strong mid-range plan. Flusterstorm feels good. Opposition Agent. They also have a pretty wild mana base, so Opposition Agent can do double duty there. And then I'll trim some of the top end. Mainboard Fatal Push. I don't know how good Shieldred's going to be. They also have Orcish Bowmasters, so they're making me really respect like a fair plan on top of the combo. In that situation, I like just trimming anything that isn't really to the point. Like, I don't think I can afford to really care that much about the Orcish Bowmasters when they can combo me out. But I will keep Lightning Bolt for that reason. And then I can cut 1 Narset, Shieldred, 1 Baleful Strix, and then I'll also just rock with 2 Thoughtseize and see where this takes us. It'll be a lot better when we're on the play. I think this hand will do just fine. Got some redraws with Cling to Dust or just fighting their Reanimator plan. Got Force of Will and also Red Blast. Here comes Grief. Yep. By taking 1 Force of Will, they can effectively take both. So let's see what they do. They pitched a Grief to do that. Yep, there's 1 Force down. But no Reanimate to go with it. So we get a little bit of respite there. Just checking the hand, it looks like. Land, cool. If they throw a Doomsday on the stack, I think I'll just have to Cling to Dust, Force of Will, or Scalding Tarn rather. It doesn't really matter. And look for a blue card for this Force, but it looks like that's not happening. There's some room to breathe. That's cool. Another Red Blast, alright. I'll probably just start pointing those at anything at this point. Cantrips, whatever. Seeing some movement on this fetch land. Underground Sea, Ponder. Yeah, I'm just going to Red Blast that. Try and stymie this development. So they have 3 spells in hand. They're not making a land drop. I would really like to make a land drop or find a blue card for Force of Will, so I'm going to cast Cling to Dust targeting Ponder. Lightning Bolt. And a land, cool. We'll just sit back with this. That was likely their draw for the turn, because they didn't make a land drop last turn. I want to keep looking for stuff, and if I find land number 4, I'll have Cling to Dust on Escape anyways. So I think I am just going to cycle this second one as well. They have 3 cards in hand. I'm definitely more afraid of their Doomsday plan than their Reanimator plan. There's land number 4, cool. Land number 5, gotta play the fetch land. That'll give us the 5th card for Escape. Still not finding that blue card, but I guess next turn we'll have a hard cast version. Sauron's Ransom, I'll just counter that too. Don't want them pulling ahead. Brainstorm. Yep. Can't do anything about that. But I am glad that I hit Sauron's Ransom instead of Brainstorm. Looks like they are Brainstorm locked as well, so that's cool. Few too many lands here. Started with a 1-lander, and now we need to find some action. And with all these fetch lands and cheap spells, and Reanimate being a sorcery, I'm totally fine to just draw an extra card here off Cling to Dust. Let's hit Ransom this time. I don't know if they have some kind of Snapcaster or way to recur spells. In case they do. K command. Not super useful when we haven't ground through much yet. Well, just keep going. They've now officially drawn through their Brainstorm. Screw beats Flood, so we're hoping to find some action right about now. Sorin the Mirthless certainly qualifies. That will put us shields down against Force of Will unless we find a blue card here. And that's worth a force to them. They also have Uro. It certainly has every card that's good against Grixis. Land number 4. The 1 ring. Yeah, definitely wanted to hold up that Force of Will, huh? The only thing I can really do right now is cast K command and give them some less options for their discard. I guess that's just where we're at right now. Veil of Summer. Immediately drawing, that makes sense. Our flooding continues. Now I'm kind of hoping they cast Doomsday. Alright, another land, cool. They're putting Yorion in their hand, and then passing the turn. Oh, they're going to draw on second main with the 1 ring. Thoughtseize. They'll probably take Force of Will anyways. Let's just start pelting them with stuff, I guess. We flooded so hard, there's really no way we can win this game at this point, so let's go for the route that gives us the best chance, which is having them die to their own ring. One more bolt might do it, you never know. Alright, let's get another darn land out of our deck. Now let's cast Cling to Dust, target Veil of Summer. Shieldred's Edict. That could be pretty good. And a Brainstorm too. Let's take a spin. Force of Negation, pitching Yorion. Okay. I guess we'll just sit back. Shieldred, okay. Let's definitely not let them gain all that life back. Sweet. And they already made a land drop, so they can't cast another ring. It has indestructible. It might be hard for them to get rid of it. Sweet, we did it. Go for that reach. That's why I like playing Grixis. Welcome back for round number 3, winning the die roll. Always nice. However, this hand doesn't really do too much. 2 Force of Wills against a likely red painter opponent. Grindstone Cowboy. Great username. I'm gonna mulligan this. This looks better. Got the lightning bolt for that fast goblin welder. And in a matchup where they mainboard pyroblasts, I'm just guessing by the way. In a scenario where I'm not against red painter though, I think I'll bottom Jace anyways, just because I don't have the land number 4 for it just yet. We're seeing the mulligan to 5. Perhaps that first hand would have been the right choice. Let's see. The double force hand. Windswept Heath. Okay. I don't think that is a land that you see in red painter ever. Play this Badlands out. Savannah. Could be some kind of Maverick deck. I like Plague Engineer against Maverick usually. Lorien revealed. They're not representing Bowmasters right now, so I'm not going to drop Narset until I can also cast Lightning Bolt. And a pass after that. Okay. Land number 5. Let's start digging. Looking for generically good answers right now. Oh, they're Force of Will. Oh, Cavern Harpy. Okay, got it. So this is Allurin. I like Plague Engineer against Allurin quite a bit. On a bit of a slow start over there, we might be able to cash in Lorien Revealed for the good mode. But again, I'll want them to tap out first. Okay, no black mana. That is good news. And a Ponder. I think we can reasonably expect Bowmasters to be in this deck, though. Allurin is traditionally a bug deck, but it looks like they're probably all 4 colors except red. Jace is back. That's probably just better. Nothing wrong with the little Jace. Alright, we're in there. Looking good. I'll go like this, hide the Narset on top. Just in case they play an Allurin, I'm going to want Lightning Bolt and my Flash Plague Engineer. Yep, black mana confirmed. And Uro. They've got 4 spells in hand, and I'm going to be looking for Cling to Dust this turn. So first thing, let's play Narset. Then we'll do a little Azcanta digging. I probably just will pick up Spell Pierce here. I think that's pretty good. Now let's Brainstorm. Force of Will I don't mind. Let's put back 1 Lightning Bolt and then have K Command for later. Shuffle those up. And then we'll Ponder next turn. Basic Plains does not escape Uro, and they're also 2 cards short in their graveyard. I want to be able to just Spell Pierce, say, Allurin if they try to cast one. They're hanging back. Snapcaster Mage. If I minus Narset again, then Bowmasters can take it out with the ETB, which is pretty bad. So let's test the waters here. Nothing. There is a Narset. That's pretty sweet. So I'll put back, what did I reveal? Spell Pierce. That's probably the worst card for them to know about. But maybe I can confuse them a little bit if I put back one Snap and a Spell Pierce, and then maybe even pick it up again. Yep. Now they'll wonder if I have 2 Spell Pierces or what the heck's going on. Sorin the Mirthless, that is something that can start working towards a win. Then we'll just plus, but not reveal that, because we'll just go to discard anyways. And we don't have to take 3 anyways. Intuition. I'm good to just Spell Pierce this, I think. This fills up their graveyard even more. There's the Aloran. I think we can probably just counter this, although it's not all bad for us. But it just seems their deck is much better suited to utilize this card, so I think it's probably safest to just force it. They're forcing back. I have Narset out and Plague Engineer, but I don't have Lightning Bolt up. I'm just going to cast Force of Will again. Cool. As it normally should, too. Force of Wills get the job done. We did lose Narset number 3 in the process, so hopefully this one just sticks around. Alright, now we can plus Sorin and reveal a land. Not take any damage there. Let's brainstorm off Jace. Thoughtseize is cool. So now I think I'm good to float Lightning Bolt on top with Plague Engineer, and then just start working towards... we'll take Recruiter. Alright, and that's game 1. We did have a pretty overwhelming advantage with 3 Planeswalkers down there. It's quite tempting to bring in Blood Moon here, but I think I'll save that for when I'm on the play. Surgical Extraction is good against decks named after a card, and also Uro. Plague Engineer is great. Opposition Agent is great. It becomes free off Aloran. And also, they just showed me Recruiter of the card at the end there. Let's get Red Blast. And Flusterstorm, if we have enough cuts. Enchantments are really hard for Grixis to deal with if they're not red or blue, so I don't want to cut Force of Will, but they also have a really strong fair plan. So I'll trim 1 Force. And then we'll cut Thoughtseize in the hopes that they are spending their mana. Cut Brazen Borrower. Much like the last match, just cut everything that isn't really to the point here. We can trim a land. They're a combo deck, but they're one that is going to win with a 4 mana spell, so they're not going to come out of the gates really fast or anything. And then I guess we'll just trim a Narset and Shieldred. Well, 6 lands in a Brainstorm. Pretty classic, huh? We're on the draw. We'll never be wanting for land drops, which is pretty nice since I sighted out a land. There are things to like about this hand for sure. Carpet of Flowers, got it. We'll be taking this mega slow. Narset, well, that incentivizes us to play islands, but maybe we can catch them off guard a little bit. Ponder. And Basic Forest. Shieldred's Edict. Good stuff. Let's play a non-island and then pass the turn. There's an Uro, sure. Now that they're at 4 mana anyways, there's not that much incentive to not play out islands. It's kind of all the same after this point, as long as they don't have the cards to back it all up. Seeing as they're tapped out here, they might have to do something disadvantageous if they want to answer this Narset, like cast Force of Will. So let's give it a shot. Cool, we're in there. I already have a Brainstorm. I'll take Lightning Bolt. Just diversify our answers here. They're going to cast a Lauren. Okay. With a Recruiter, this might be a win. Aether Channeler. Okay. Should be pretty easy for them to win from here. Yep, there's the combo. Parasitic Strix. This combo's with Cavern Harpy. And unfortunately, Narset missed on that Force of Will. It's unclear if that would have gotten the job done anyways, but pretty easy line of the combo there in game 2. And let's try and pick it up for game 3. On the play, I don't mind Thoughtseize so much. Haven't seen any Bowmasters yet, so I'm kind of inclined to give Sudden Edict a shot as well. Then we can cut some top end there. Maybe another Thoughtseize. I do really like Bowmasters. We can cut Flusterstorm, and then just really play full control and also cut Sorin. I kind of like that idea. Take the play, of course. Hand should be pretty good at beating an Aloran. If we find any blue card along the way, that's completely great. And also Surgical for the Fair Uro plan. I'm going to give this a shot. Land go over there. There's our blue card for Force, but more likely than not, it's probably going to be the one cast over Force, depending on how fast they want to go. If not, it's a pretty easy pitch. Ponder. Yep. I don't usually like this line against fair decks, but Opposition Agent might actually catch them off their mana here if they give me priority to make a land drop before they crack that fetch land. Yep, okay. We'll see what happens. They are quite a few colors, so they're probably somewhat reliant on fetch lands to make this all work. I'm hoping to draw a land here. Baleful Strix. Okay. Double Force online. Cool. You gotta assume they probably have swords or something or other. Alright, let's go for it. And we'll just round out our colors here. Let's see if we got the old Stone Rain here. Ice Fang Kutai. Sure. Hopefully that's a desperate redraw. Force of Will. Well, I just gotta fight back, right? Looks like Opposition Agent resolves. And their hand is pretty darn stacked. They even had another Force of Will. 2 Orms chance. That's pretty scary. I think I'm taking Underground Sea here. It's the most useful land for me. And then they'll ponder, sure. And they shuffle. Snapcaster Mage, cool. That's going to be a Spell Pierce, Snap Spell Pierce. The Orm's Chant is going to be kind of hard to beat, though. If I Spell Pierce an Orm's Chant, and then they just don't have enough mana to do anything else in their turn, that could be okay. Brainstorm. Yep. It might be hard for them to shuffle after a Brainstorm. But they do find a mana source. Still no double green, though. Now that this has Death Touch, I think I need to commit a Plague Engineer to the board. Or I could just Red Blast. They do have Force of Will. Yeah, I think I'll save Red Blast for their Force, which they might do right here. If this attack connects, this puts them to 10, which is a 2-turn clock. And they're still without double green. Okay, now they have double green. And there's an Alurin. So something I could do to win this counter war is Surgical Force of Will. But I have the Red Blast already. They didn't cast the Orm's Chant first. So I'm going to Surgical Force of Will. Force the action on that. Okay, they didn't have the blue card. I'll just take all their forces. Oh, right, the Recruiter. I forgot about the Recruiter. So I'll just force this, pitching Spell Pierce. And then they might be forced to cast Recruiter as a 1/1 chump blocker. We draw an island. Alright. Orm's Chant is particularly effective against Snapcaster Mage, unfortunately. In response to the card on the stack, they can just cast Orm's Chant, and then I can't target anything in the graveyard. Yeah, they are casting Recruiter right now. Sure. They'll probably decline the search. Yep. And there's a land for turn. So now I think I'm good to flash and snap, and probably just extract Alurin, take their combo out. I have Red Blast for Uro, and I think we can get over the line that way. Thanks to Opposition Agent, they've only had one white source this game. So yeah, there's 3 Uros to fight through. Orcish Bowmasters, Aether Channeler, a lot of strong mid-range creatures. But I think we should be able to get over the line. This is a forced block on Opposition Agent. And if I draw any kind of burn, okay, it's just a land. But we should be able to get over the line. Most of their creatures that stabilize will lose to Red Blast. They could also just, draw a land or something, or we could draw one of our 4 lightning bolts. There's a lot of good junctions from here. Ice Fang Kotal, I think this should do it. It might have been right to cast Orm's Chant first. We got the GGs. Alright. That puts us at 3-0. Let's keep on rocking. Welcome back for round number 4. We're up against Orzhov Control, known Death and Taxes player, and that Yorion sure makes it seem like that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm not going to throw this back. We got some real bombs and some brainstorms that hopefully won't run headfirst into Orcish Bowmasters. And they are without a turn 1 play. That's cool. No Aether Vial. No Mother of Runes. Lorien Revealed. Okay. That can either be a major grinding tool, or it could just get us land number 4 for these massive bombs. I generally like having 1 card up on Death and Taxes here. Ethersworn Canonist. Cool. Let's brainstorm now, because we might not have the option to cast too many spells in our turn. Looks like we're just fine on lands. And we can play on basics for a while, which is also cool. I'm going to elect to ponder. Plague Engineer. Also very good against Death and Taxes. Narset, not so much. I'll probably want to play Plague Engineer next turn and not Narset. So I'm actually going to put Plague Engineer in my hand and then have the option to fetch or cast Brainstorm via this Polluted Delta. Field of Ruin. Alright, well, I guess we got to be a little careful with these basics. Don't want to get them all out so we don't get a little Stone Rain action off that Field of Ruin. How about an X1 creature? For old time's sake. Oh, wow. It's Stoneforge. That is pretty scary. I can't Brainstorm and Lightning Bolt. And Force of Will. Obviously can't do that. So this will resolve. See what they get. And then I'll probably just Brainstorm at the end of turn. Try and set something up. Deal with the Stoneforge Cauldron. Okay. Pedal to the metal over there. Island. Brainstorm Part 2. Thoughtseize. I guess when all else fails, if they do get this Cauldron through somehow, we can Jace bounce it, although that wouldn't be the greatest use. Again, I'm going to try and keep this Narset at bay. I'll draw Jace, and then probably just fetch a Badlands. Although then they can Field of Ruin, and having double black is pretty important. Drawing Narset wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I guess if they Field of Ruin, I could use Lorien Revealed to get my red source, if I even need one. Not looking at any red sources right now. Yeah, this is all a bit of a grindy nightmare. Swords to Plowshares will line up against Shieldred really well. Samwise grinds super hard. Flicker Wisp grinds super hard. It all grinds pretty hard, but Cauldron is just the clear take, so we don't straight up die. They are coming out strong over there. They might just continue applying pressure and hold up Sam. Get that sweet 2-for-1. Plains was the draw for turn. Not ready to commit that Eiganjo just yet. And yeah, I'll hang on to Lorien for a little longer. They're going to move on that right now. Using my mana is pretty important, so might as well. Don't mind it terribly. And I think I'll get Underground Sea. Or no, I'll get Volcanic Island at the expense of giving up some information. Basic Swamp, yep. They might flash in Sam here. Narset, just can't get rid of it. Now if they flash in Sam, they can attack Sorin off the board. Same thing if I Jace and minus bounce something. They'd be rebuying Field of Ruin, which maybe isn't what they really want to do. Alternatively, I could just play Plague Engineer out. If they swords that, then Shieldred is good to go. Yeah, the Sorin Plus just doesn't seem all that appealing. Maybe I can convince them to do some more weird rebuying a Field of Ruin and firing that, spending their mana that way. I'll just name Peasant, I guess. Although Elemental's not a bad name either. 3/1 Flicker Wisp is pretty scary. And we've frozen them. Our confounding mediocre play did its job. They're going to push damage. They can rebuy the Stoneforge, which I think is actually weirdly okay if we just block it and then they Well, I guess they could Swords Plague Engineer on the way through. Can I afford to take another 3? I mean, probably. I definitely want the Canonist to stick around. Swords and Samwise are both non-artifact spells, so if they just rebuy that, it might be slow enough that I can do something about it. Okay, instead they're going to Iganjo, so they get to keep their swords. Lightning Bolt would be pretty cool. Alright. Thank you, God. Let's play Sorin. Stabilize the board. And if this thing eats a plow, I'm not all that upset. Oh yeah, for sure it does. Alright. Then I will be probably bolting Canonist on upkeep. I could wait until combat. What would I be risking at that point? Ephemerate, I guess. Then they're not casting anything else. Screw it. This is Operation Untap with Sorin. Now, if they were willing to Swords that token, either they have another Swords or they were just really counting on getting Sorin off the battlefield. And both of those, or I'd much prefer the latter, because I really want this Shieldred to do some cool stuff. They're going to play Flicker Wisp. That will probably get Sorin off the field. They're flickering the Stoneforge. Let's see what they pick up. That's just good value. Batterskull, okay. That one is pretty susceptible to Kolaghan's command. We draw Brainstorm. Well, let's start with a plus. Snapcaster Mage, pretty solid. In light of that, maybe Shieldred can wait a little bit longer. I probably want to just snap Bolt the Flicker Wisp, but I have a lot of mana, so let's Brainstorm first. Another Bolt, sweet. Let's just toss back Narset and I probably Jace and just try and control this board before we play any more big bombs. And I'll just bolt this now. If they want to spend 5 mana on a darn Batterskull, that's fine with me. This also plays around Sam. Land number 5, okay. Let's make our play. The cherry on top would have been if I had also Cling to Dust to blow out the Sam. I wouldn't mind the 3 life. Yep, there's that. Boom. Are they going to cast it? Yep. Untap one of their lands. I don't know if that means they have a Swords or something. We'll see. Another Edict. Well, that makes it kind of likely we can actually protect Sorin. Because if it was looking unlikely in the first place to protect Sorin, I was just going to cash it in for another one. For another 2-3. Double Edict, though. That's pretty sweet. I also want to play Shieldred. The imprecise nature of Edict kind of makes it hard to protect Sorin that way. Let's plus. Cling to Dust, okay. I'll take one of those. And I want to be gaining life pretty soon. But let's just answer this board. And if they fetch for Yorion, hopefully that just is too slow, and we can really start pulling ahead. Finally put some damage on him. Field of Ruin, okay. There is Batterskull. And Mother of Runes. That's a scary one. I think I want to just start digging. Not great for future Sams, but Baleful Strix, okay. Narset. Let's plus Sorin. Thoughtseize, little sketchy right now. Now let's play Strix. A Delta. As much as I want to play Shieldred, I'm pretty sure I just need to find a way to deal with this Mother of Runes right now. Ooh, I really want K-Command, but it's just got to be Bolt. No time to mess around here. Alright. Field of Ruin activation. Alright, there's our last basic. Swords on Strix, sure. Attacking Sorin, I will take the jump block. And Yorion to hand. Alright, time to Thoughtseize, I guess. Force of Will is cool. Take any old blue card here for that. Got to play kind of fast. Last card is land, cool. And then let's also make a 2-3. I need to start getting some life back. And I'll force just about anything here. Or Schadenport. We gotta go fast here. Especially since this is all based on me holding up a Force of Will as well. Good news is we should be able to clock pretty quickly here. Spirit? Yeah, I'm not gonna fight over that. If I can finish this game with 11 minutes on my clock, I'll be feeling good. Alright, now I'm going to snap bolt that. I was hoping I could save a little clock by bolting at the end, but if they're going to try and do something crazy like that, not sure what they could be planning, but I'm going to take a block. Maybe they're just trying to soak up clock. Alpha Strike! They're at 4, just about there. Not like Death and Taxes is famous for drawing cards, but Stoneforge, sure. That is fine. I've got lethal in the air and on their next draw step. Lion Sash, sure. Vampire Swing. Fantastic. So we're like 5 minutes behind on clock. Not ideal, but let's see if we can end this in 2. Against Death and Taxes, I like Plague Engineer, Opposition Agent, Sudden Edict. I like 1 Red Blast has a super good way and fast way to deal with Yorion, but I think the jury is still out on that one. It could just be really bad. But I'm still going to try it out. Because Yorion is scary. Shieldred, even though it did work there, it's not good against Swords to Plowshares decks. And Narset is also kind of clunky. I probably don't need 4 Force of Wills, although if I'm just trying to shut the door quickly and I'm on the draw, I can just rock with all 4. And if things start looking like they're going south, I'm just going to concede and try again in match 3. Anything I absolutely missing here? Cling to Dust has new life thanks to Samwise. Yeah, let's go. We want just cards that do stuff. Hand looks fine. We got lands, we got Lightning Bolt for any early shenanigans. Aether Vial, that's unfortunate, but maybe we'll find a way to deal with it. Land number 5, okay. Looks like we'll be able to cast Sorin through a wasteland. But let's set up here. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle this. I don't want to draw another land. Baleful Strix, cool. If they just slam a Spirit of the Lab here, we'll have to take a turn off dealing with that. Rashawn Port, okay. They might settle into that game. Shedict, cool. If they try to Violin Mother of Ruins here, we've got that covered. Unfortunately, playing around Wasteland plays into Rashawn Port. But I think it's just more important that we have a high number of mana to work with, rather than the versatility of said mana. I'm going to have 6. Screw it. Okay, they didn't make a land drop. Fascinating. Going after the red mana this time. Interesting. Snapcaster Mage, cool. Let's just play this out. If we get Spirit of the Labyrinth, that'd be pretty unfortunate. Yep, here it comes. But at least we won't be taking 3 a turn. Files up to 3, okay. Here comes a 3-drop. What could it be? Recruiter, maybe? Oh, Skyclave Apparition, okay. Here's a hit for 3. If they try to port me, I will Snap Bolt. Probably the Apparition. Sorin can represent card advantage that is not based on drawing cards. And I also like the idea of having another body on board. Stop this aggression. And we still have Edict too, so it's not like we're completely cold. Lorien Revealed, cool. That'll probably do something. Hanging on 3 for the Vial. Man, if I can just destroy that Vial, their game is going to slow down quite a bit. Thalia, sure. I can still slam Sorin here, though. Ooh, Bowmasters. I think that's even better, though. Hold up my effects. See if they activate Vial on the end step. They do indeed. Let's see what it is. Ah, Recruiter of the Guard. Just the scariest card imaginable. Palace Jailer. Alright. We might be able to take out multiple bodies here. We'll line up a block here. That way if they want to Palace Jailer that Snapcaster Mage, it will kind of cost them. Although they probably want that gone so they can draw off the Monarchy here. Yep, here it comes. Our poor Illusion token. That ain't coming back when we take the Monarchy, I'll tell you that. I imagine they have like a Swords, but that will cost them some mana. So let's take this out first. Oh no, we get another trigger. Cool. Let's take out Thalia. Sweet. Now let's Edict. Lightning Bolt. Cool. That should ensure a smooth taking of the Monarchy here. Sweet. Now let's just jam Sorin. Just really try and get ahead on board and shut the door. Ponder, okay. Force of Will, I think, is our best flip off this Monarchy trigger. Kolaghan's Command, also don't hate it. Vial up to 5, so now they can get Yorion and Violet in if they want. They're casting Thalia, sure. And Aethersworn Canonist, okay. Good thing K-Command does so many things for one. Cling to Dust, rad. Plague Engineer is also a good one. But I don't have enough mana to do it all. Looks like I should have cashed in Lorien Revealed. So it looks like I think Bolt K-Command is the move instead. So let's Bolt right now. And then on their upkeep we'll K-Command. Unless they just want to trade for the army token, we'll see. Nope. Didn't think so. Another Bolt. Sweet. 5-drop coming in. Oh, it's probably Solitude. Yep, it is indeed. So it looks like we'll be doing Shatter Shock instead. And F6. They're going to grab Yorion, because they probably just really need to fend off that Sorin ult. And, yeah, I'm going to just cycle this in response. We got to land anyways. Okay. Let's start digging. Strix, that can help protect. And another one. Yeah, I think I'm just dropping that in. Although, maybe Pondering, looking for Force of Will is better. I don't know how good holding up Lightning Bolt is, honestly. And we already have one Strix. If they have the swords... I'm thinking of a sweeper, though, like Plague Engineer. They haven't shown me any black mana, despite the username. I think it's just white control. Yeah, I think just playing both Strixes and having Lightning Bolt, I think that's got to be the way. Another K-Command, okay. No attack. Draw a card. There's Yorion. Are they going to flip their Vial? No. It's just a land. Okay. Well, pretty soon we're going to have a bunch of Force of Wills, I'm guessing. If they have swords. Okay, cool. Never mind. We did it. Trophy match coming up. All right, folks, here we are. Fighting for the trophy. Winning the die roll. Feels great. And this hand should do just fine. We have 2 lands. Lorien Revealed. Got that 3rd land drop. Maybe cast a Narset on turn 3. Force of Will to back it all up. Let's see what happens. Opponent going Wasteland, Mox Diamond, so probably lands, I would imagine. Narset's not lining up super well against that deck usually. So that might be our pitch to force. Exploration, I'm good to counter that. Then I'm thinking I'll grab a basic island off this Lorien, which means I guess just a mountain off this? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get an island. Lightning Bolt. Alright, well, let's brainstorm, see what comes up. Not a whole lot. At least we won't be dead to a Merit Lage right away. But probably be looking to snap Brainstorm pretty soon. We'll just conceal some information, play this Lightning Bolt out. Hopefully countering that exploration just really slows him down. More Wasteland. And Sylvan Library. Well, now I wish I had that Narset. It's not a card you see as often these days because of the Bowmaster Mania, but can still do some real work. If they get super greedy though, and just like start keeping cards left and right, might be able to surprise them out of nowhere with Bolt Snap Bolt. Attack for 2. Seeing a lot of discipline out there though. Ooh, Valakut Exploration. Haven't seen this card in a while, but it's super strong. Grove of the Burn Willows, sure. There's Punishing Fire. So they just exiled Punishing Fire. Oh, but it goes into their graveyard, I believe. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Given how they're playing with their Sylvan Library, I think I'm good to just snap Brainstorm here. Start applying pressure in earnest, and also move some cards around. Ooh, Narset, cool. It'll take them a while to Punishing Fire that thing down. And then I guess I'll put back Lightning Bolt to potentially be discovered by Narset. It at least ensures that we'll get something. And I'll just leave up Underground Sea. Lightning Bolt or Lightning Bolt? I'll take Lightning Bolt. Alright, looks like a crop rotation here. Probably Urza's Saga, I'd imagine. Oh yeah. We see a Mox Diamond. Sure. And they have a Dark Depths. Exiling a Thespian Stage off the top. Well, hopefully that's their only one, huh? Nah, just kidding. Wait, can they? No, they can't play that. They discard a Wasteland, so they're on 0 cards. At least that. Their constructs arrive as a 3/3. That's pretty scary. Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, so we can continue punishing Sylvan Library long after Narset is gone, which makes me kind of want to just get another card off her. Kolaghan's Command. But I don't have a red source. Yeah, that's the hard part, huh? It's so good, though. I'm going to take Ponder. Okay, cool. A little late for Force of Will. I like Brazen Borrower. Take Scalding Tarn. Play that out. Pick up Brazen Borrower. And then let's attack with Snapcaster Mage. They are going to make a construct, sure. If they block, we'll finish it off with a Bowmasters. And they'll pick up Punishing Fire. They can't use it this turn though, so that's kind of cool. Now we get to see how extensive their Saga package is. Soul Guide Lantern, okay. And Thespian Stage. Luckily we have the Edict. And if they just go for it right now, I guess we'll have to get rid of that construct first. I think it's really important that we're pushing damage. So if they give us a chance to take out this construct with a lightning bolt, I'll definitely take it. Nope, okay. You got it. Gonna make Merit Lays, sure. Doesn't really matter which gets which. I've seen Brazen Borrower do some real work against this deck. Oh no, not Maze of Ith. Well, hopefully they don't get any more creatures anytime soon. Passing the turn with a Punishing Fire in hand. That will definitely deal with all our stuff. More Bowmasters, cool. Probably just looking to push damage at any angle we can. Punishing Fire on Army Token. I think that's smart. Probably saves the most damage in the long run. But not willing to tap Maze of Ith. That is interesting. Okay. Double Valakut Exploration. Scary. So their hand is Punishing Fire. I think I'm still just going to run out Brazen Borrower. And Orcish Bowmasters. Bit of a race here. K-Command, cool. That's a good one. They'll hit that with Maze of Ith, sure. Then they'll take 4 otherwise. Okay. They'll draw a card, sure. That's good news for us, because I think that gives us the reach we need if we K-Command back our Snapcaster Mage. Crop Row. Let's see if they go for Bojuka Bog here. That would be strange if they had more than one. They might have more than one Maze of Ith. We'll see. Okay, double Maze of Ith. That is fine. And they flip Tabernacle and Life from the Loam. Those are both really, really good cards for them, but hopefully it's just a little too slow here. One of their cards being Punishing Fire. There's their land drop for the turn. So they're packing at least 3 Maze of Ith. It's wild. And they'll Punishing Fire Brazen Borrower. Okay. Makes sense. Let's go ahead and get more red mana. Spend as much as we possibly can right now. Return and shock. Get snap. Shock them. Then we'll lightning bolt. And before we pay anything like this, let's snap bolt, see that that works. Alright, they're not going to make us do it. Lands can be a really tricky matchup, but we do have some tools for it, like Blood Moon. Meltdown I like these days because of Saga being a major win con for them. I also like Sudden Edict. Surgical Extraction is really good to fight Life from the Loam type stuff. And if you can just remove Thespian Stage from the mix, or Saga, usually in pretty good shape. Plague Engineer not great. Narset did tons of work there, but I think Bowmasters will accomplish kind of the same thing. They're on Valakut Exploration. Maybe they have Minsc and Boo as well, so I'm going to take a Hydroblast. And then Flusterstorm's not bad either. Crop Rotation is pretty important. Ooh, can't forget Opposition Agent. Even though they're a Punishing Fire version, which is really scary. So let's cut some of the more fragile stuff, like, or Thoughtseize on the draw is not super great. Probably want the other Meltdown too. And traditionally I cut Lightning Bolt as well. Let's also, they seem pretty red-centric. I wouldn't be surprised if they had like Pyroblast, so I'm going to cut Jace, even though traditionally it's one of your best tools versus lands. Final cut. I'm feeling a second Narset. Ooh, you know what? Spell Pierce is not great on the draw. I think I'll trade that out. I'll take a second Blue Blast. Cool thing about Blue Blast against Valakut Exploration is that you don't really need to catch it on the stack. It's not like Choke or something. This hand is pretty good. It's got a nice big bomb with Shieldred. It won't die to a really fast Merit Lage. I wish I had a blue card for Force, but I'm not going to throw it back. And we might even get some good clock in with Orcish Bowmasters. Opponent is on a mold of 5, which doesn't really mean much for lands. They recoup card advantage so quickly with Life from the Loam. But if Punishing Fire is their main method for fighting the Grixis control plan, Shieldred might do some real work against them. Starting with Thespian Stage, then Mox Diamond. Discarding another stage, sure. And they're going to loam that back. Okay. So already their loam engine is online, and I think my best draws are Cling to Dust or Surgical Extraction. Ponder, okay. Even though that is a blue card, I think it's pretty likely that Ponder will come up with another blue card if I need it. And if it comes up with Surgical, that's just perfect. Land number 4. Would I rather pitch Force or Baleful Strix? Probably Force. There's no guarantee that I'm going to get another one in the future. And unless they present a super fast Merit Lage, I'm probably just going to have to trust my deck to come up with a land drop eventually. But yeah, if they just play Dark Depths, I don't know what else they would... Okay, Red Blast confirmed. They'll keep on loaming. Luckily, it's only for 1. Then land drop go here, sure. I think I'd rather play Bowmasters at the end of turn. Before anything really gets going for them, if I can just put a lot of damage on them, Shieldred might get over the line. 2 Punishing Fires hit the bin. Do they have the Grove? We know their hand is Thespian Sage, Loam, and something else. They're just going to Naked Loam, sure. Ooh, Field of the Dead. That is a tricky one. But like I said, I think I just need to try and deal with them before that gets online. And Shieldred dealing damage without combat is pretty great. Lightning Bolt, alright. Little extra reach. Let's drop Strix in there. There's another land. Cool. We will have a Shieldred. And hopefully it can outrace Field of the Dead. Wow, 3 Punishing Fires in the bin. A Grove would be pretty devastating, but luckily they haven't found one yet. They'll pick up Foothills, yep. And at a certain point, might want to just force a loam if I see them reaching for something. And with that in mind, I'm just going to probably fire a bolt at them. Is that right? 14, 13, and then... Yeah, I think this is right. Another Force, okay. Might be hard castable. And let's get double blue online. One unfortunate thing about Shieldred and the way it interacts with Loam is that they can just dredge, and then they won't really have to worry about having to take that damage from Shieldred. But if they ever want a non-Loam card draw, take 2. Yeah, they can take 2. Uh-oh, there's Grove. And they milled another Loam. Okay. I think I'm supposed to counter this Loam then. And then if I draw a blue card or a land, I think we're just set. All right, we'll force that. Hey, that's good enough for them. Alrighty. Nice little 5-0 there. I dare say Jace is back, baby. Just kidding. Jace is probably still a tenuous choice at best in this current meta. But, you know, Orcish Bowmasters didn't kill Brainstorm. So if you just kind of pick your spot and play wisely with Jace, you can totally play this card. You're free to play Jace if you want to, and you have my endorsement. Like I said in the deck tech, I'll probably never get used to having to care about Swords to Plowshares. That's just, in the past, I really enjoyed this Grixis control shell because it's just something you don't care about because your creatures are getting a lot of value when they enter the battlefield. Outside of certain cases, of course, like Opposition Agent obviously can come in and try to lock things out, but just eat a swords. But here we're actually playing cards that do really get hosed by Swords to Plowshares, like Shieldred. But I think I'm still enjoying my time with Shieldred. It's a cool card. I still want to try Caves of Chaos Adventurer again. Since I don't have From the Catacombs, just having a way to deal with the initiative or take it or introduce it is pretty important for a lot of fair decks to have in 2023 Legacy. I really liked Lorien Revealed. Just, I liked it more than, say, if I had like a troll in this situation, even though they have the same land cycling effect, which is cool. This mode of drawing 3 cards, I think, works better with Grixis control than having a big 6/5 evasive beater, because then you're just in the same Source of Plowshares situation. But I think that's about it. I'll keep working on it, I guess. But there's Jace, and I'll see y'all later.